Okay, well, I think I'm on again. Welcome, everybody. Hey, I'm wearing a hat. I usually don't wear a hat because I don't know, I just never wore a hat. But I'm noticing that the snowflakes are a little brown today, so I don't know if they're like coronified or what, so I'm just going to wear a hat. Little public service announcement before we start. It's Mrs. Jean Lowell's birthday on Wednesday. So if you could make some kind of a small sign because of the times being what they are. Of course, we can't go and wish her happy birthday. But if you make some kind of like small sign, what's it take? Make a small sign. And just put it where she can see it on the way. She works in Boston at Daniel's Garage. And if you could put your signs up by Tuesday night so she see them on the way in, that'd be awesome. From town all the way into Daniel's Garage, if you know the area. Small act of what do you call it? Kindness. All right, so what are we doing today? I'm outside only because they said it was supposed to snow later on tonight, but I don't know what's happening. So just to have the natural light that we had already, why don't we just stick to that? Now, if you have, of course, have all your colors out, and you want to have at least two brushes, which I call large and a small. Most times I like to have a medium with me too, but I'm not going to run off camera because we won't even need it. Okay, so what we'll do is I don't want to spend too much time up here on the trees because basically they are like back in the distance. So what we want to do, I'm going to show you two different ways to do that. You could either paint them on. What we're going to do is, remember how we talked about holding up all those leaves and all that stuff up there, right? You need some kind of substance to hold that up. So what we want to do is we're going to take some black, but before you even take black out, what's this? Well, it's a Sharpie. If you got a Sharpie, watch what we're going to do. I'm going to come right up in here. It doesn't really matter, but see, just like we cut in those little areas like this, maybe I should bring the camera closer so I can show you what I'm doing right here. I just hope not to have it. This falls, I'm sorry. I'll have to just put you back up there. Oh, it looks like it's going to fall. Hold on one second. Let me tighten you up. A little tighter. There we go. All right, that should be good. All right, now let me show you what's going on here. Okay, see what I'm right up in here I'm doing with the Sharpie. Right, I hope I can hold this at the same time and do this. But see what I'm doing right in here now? I'm going to come right up in here and just kind of fake those tree trunks in there. Now remember, they're going to be hidden back in here. You can even thicken them up a little bit, but don't make them too thick, because say if you look back here, the thinner ones in the back get really thin. Of course, the big ones in front, like this one here, this one's going to be nice. Okay, this is going to be good. So let me pull you back now, and then even with the tree branches, let me show you that while I get you up close. See, just branch them off like that. Do I have it in the right spot? All right, right up in here. Okay, see what I'm doing? I'm just going to take the Sharpie and just keep it real loose like this. Now remember, we're going to have some highlighted leaves on this. Even on this big tree, you could do it right here. Where am I? I want to make sure I'm there. Okay, so what I want to do is just come up here like this. And just, make it a little bit thicker where it grabs onto the branch. And then as you come out here, just keep it real loose. Don't make them stiff, right? And then you can just have a whole bunch. I find this is a lot easier and it makes it a lot less time consuming, but just don't make things like that. The 11, no good. So just, you put them anywhere you want. But if you want to use the, paint, go right ahead. I am going to use a Sharpie. I just want to make sure that you can see what I'm doing, because I want you to get the backdrop too. But I guess maybe I should be showing you, let's get a little closer today. Let's get real close today. Sorry about all the jiggling. Look away for right now, look away. Let me see if that's even straight. Okay, I'm going to come right up in here. Oh, that's much better. I'm sure it is. Okay. I hope you guys are following along with me. Like I said, take all your colors out. And let me show you how if you want to do the black, you can do the black also. I'll show you the way you paint it if you want. So see, I'm just gonna I'm not going to scoop it. Never scoop it, right? So what you want to do is just come in, take a little bit of that black. Okay? So just a little bit. And I'm just going to come up here. And you turn your brush on the side, okay? Not the fat side. You want it on the side. And come in this way here so you can actually see what you're doing. Okay, and you can watch your line follow down that tree. Just that little bit. And throw some in here every once in a while, because that shows all that deep, deep woods and stuff like that. Okay, we'll watch how this is going to come to life today. All right, so just kind of like anywhere there's a tree. And don't make it look like a fence either. See how it's already staggered? It goes up the hill, it comes down. Right, just take a little bit more of that black. This is going to be another tree, so I'm not going to worry about that, but I will throw a little bit of a tree trunk in there, just to give it some substance to hold it up. Okay, now, let's put that in the water. You got your water in your rag, right, because you always want to wash your brushes. But like I say, from here on in, we'll just be using all the colors. You may as well just keep all your colors out, because you never know what we'll use. I like to start from back to front, and I don't know if that was an alarm, but we'll be fine. So, what was I saying? Okay. Yeah, back to front. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to throw a little bit of black under here. Now wash your brush and put it aside. Take your bigger brush, actually your medium brush. Okay, don't take a big brush like this. I'm only using this because it's a big, big canvas. Remember, this is, I think I said 36 by 24 or something like that. So what you want to do is just take a little bit of that black. Oh, what, the phone's ringing now too? We're going to have to put up with that only for a moment, I'm sorry. But what you want to do now, I'll go in between. What you want to do is go right along. Okay. Go right along that rock line and just keep this nice and low, and I'll show you why. Okay, just a nice dark line. And what this does is by the time we reach up, maybe not even all the way up here, maybe we'll just go right to in here, in this area here. Okay, and I'll show you why. And just keep it nice and low. And what it does is it makes you, see if you look in the back, see like where the rocks are and where the trees are and all that stuff. It shows you where it's coming up from. Of course, we'll cover some of this up too with some darker greens, but it'll look really, really good. And more in the distance in the shadow as we add to the painting. Because remember, it's layer on layer on layer from back to front. Okay, so don't be in a rush. Please don't be in a rush. Okay, this is Monday. We got 5 more days. And until August, I guess. So what you want to do, just go right along your rock line, okay? Cover that rock line and just follow it right down like that. I can't wear a hat. It makes me nuts. Okay. And see what I'm doing? I'm just gonna, and don't make just a line that goes like this and goes right across. Jagger it up a little bit like we did with the trees, and that also gives it a, you know, you could poke it at the top if you like, right? And that'll give it more of a bushy look. And then when we come back and throw some green on there, it's gonna look fantastic. So throw little areas like this in there too. And with this, you see I'm going right along, I'm scratching it in just to make sure that I cover my rock line, because this is gonna come down. The rocks are actually gonna cover the black, of course, because the rocks are in front of that, in front of that, in front of that, in front of that. Okay. So, sorry about that. I don't know who's doing that. All right. Oh, look, here's another way you could do it. Just scratch up and down. Look at the effect I got right there. And that was just out of stress, I guess. But see, look at that. That's a great effect too. And like I said, leave this all jagged, you know, like a hot shot. Have it come up and down, up and down. And then especially right here. This is where our waterfall is going to go, okay? Remember, our eye level is here. Our eye level is here. So what we want to do is we're going to raise this above our eye level. So this is going to be like the tops of, see like back there where that little fence is? It's going to be something like that. Or actually like the rocks above it. It'll look like that. And be pushed further even back. Okay, great. So nice solid line right across there. And just imagine our blue water falling over there, the blue and the white. Ah, fantastic. It's going to be great. Okay, now here, see, like this is, I'll do this just to show you what I don't want you to do. See, if you go like this, If you go like that, you just make a rectangle. You're not going to get past it. Your eye will always stay up here. Okay? But if we just kind of break it up and down, like I said, like a hot shot, and go right up in there. Right now we're giving it another surface to look at. And these are smaller bushes or whatever's back there. Like this is up here, but then there's even further ones up there. Now look at the depth. We'll go back to this part later. And I do want to show you some rocks today too, so don't worry about that. Oh, I meant to pull my alarm clock out. I found an alarm clock. And I meant to start it so I know when the hour was up. Oh well. Maybe the lovely Lorraine will be home by then. She went out for a little while. And look at this. Remember I said, and then we're just kind of like, let this fade back into, there's no reason to bring this all the way up there and make a solid line. We can let this fade back into back here, okay? But instead of just stopping it here like this, we'll add just a little bit of black. Okay, see, all I'm doing now is I got little bits of paint. I hope I said that earlier. Just take little bits of paint. If you saw, I just kept reaching and reaching and reaching, little bits at a time. So basically all I'm doing now is just going to clean my brush off. Okay, so maybe I'm going to go right behind this tree, just a little bit. I don't want to upset this beautiful tree branch that we put in there, right? So I'm just going to come in here and see, I'm just scratching it off, and see, it's almost, if we're being black, it's almost a see-through because there's so little paint on there, okay? And that's how the masters, I think they do it that way. I don't know. And if you want to now, you could even fade that in because there's still that much less paint on there. And if you just want to smudge this up so you don't have any of that very hard line like I always talk about, look at, see? And I'm going to do that because look at that smudging. Oh, it's smudging nice. And if anybody's using pastel crayons, now's the time you use your thumb. Okay? But don't put your thumb in this stuff. Don't put your stuff, don't do it. Oh, I shouldn't have. Did you see what I did? Thank you. I reached in for more paint where I don't want it. If I reached in for more paint, I would have just made a big blob. And I would have been very upset. But see, I'm going right back to just cleaning my brush off. And don't worry about it, even if you should cover all this up. Because remember, there's going to be more trees in front of this. This just gives it another dimension to look at. Okay, another plane to go through. Un plein air. Okay. You see, and then we could brighten up some areas too. And we could even go back. We got bunches to do, bunches and bunches. Okay, and then just kind of up here in the woods, just you don't want it just right there. So take just that little bit. Don't even go into the paint itself. Go into over here and take that. Maybe blop it a little bit because you don't want a lot of paint. And see, look, the cheap brushes there, you know, that's okay because you don't want to use expensive brushes. Oh, maybe you do, but I don't. So, and I don't mean cheap brushes. I mean inexpensive brushes. You got to be so careful. Inexpensive, and they do everything I need them to do. I hope that covered it. So, what we're gonna do now? See, and now look at how it's pushing back further. The rest of this too. And look how I'm really scrubbing that paint on there, and you can still see through it, okay? Not to the point of wanting to go through there, but I got some weight on that brush. You can see that. And let it get lighter as it goes to the top because that's where our sky is. So all the darker colors are going to be down the bottom, okay? So just keep that in mind. So here we go. What do we want to do next? Okay, now I said let's let that dry for a little bit. And what we want to do next, oh no, I didn't put, oh, I thought I put my sleeve right in the paint. That would have been nuts. Okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start working on some rocks. I'm going to use my big brush. Now, rocks, as you can see, are all different colors, right? There's reds. You can see some green from the moss up top there. The top rocks, you can see a lot of green up there because there is a lot of moss up there. I don't know, was it iron? I don't know my rocks or my gemology, whatever it is. So I'm just going to come in here. If you have gray, even better, okay? But if you don't have gray, and what? I forgot my white? No, I didn't. Well, you know something? I use yellow and black as well, all right? As we're given that time, take out a little bit of your yellow. Oh, wow, that's all dried up in there. So I hope everybody had a great weekend. I've been looking forward to today. I love having these classes. And I figured, you know, when we do go back to work, I think I'm just going to push these up to the nighttime. Because I like them a lot. I'm enjoying this. I hope you are too. So if anything ever happens, it'll be after your homework's done, we'll do painting. So what we have now is, let's do a little bit of rocks. Okay, now see, I didn't even clean my brush yet, right? Because I'm going to go right back into the black. But I would recommend you use either a very small brush or a medium brush. Don't use a big brush for this one until you become a professional. Okay, but hopefully these come out. Now, I didn't take any black. Okay, now the way I like to make rocks with yellow and black is I start on the top so that I have my light source is going to be hitting the top of and it's going to, because the black is underneath the yellow. Watch this. Oh, it's going to turn. I hope I got enough yellow on there. Okay. Now remember, you're going to see those brush strokes, but don't worry about that, because then we just want to come back in and smudge it in. Okay, but start your yellow on the top of the stone. Okay, you can always go back and highlight it brighter, but I like the yellow and the black. It gives it a kind of a funky green color as it comes down. And then maybe I got green. We could throw a little bit of green in there. But if you have white, if you don't have gray, get some black, a little bit of white, your medium brush, wash any other brush, of course, you dry it so it doesn't dry out. Take a little bit of, let's see, I'm going to take some more yellow. I want to really accent these rocks up here and show that they're hard, okay? But you don't see how some of them are really jagged edges. Others are really, really soft and belly stoned and rounded, okay? Now don't worry about the shapes. The shapes all come in afterwards. All right, so what I want to do is I'm just going to keep scratching in this yellow and the black, but very, very little. See, very, very little. And I haven't even taken any black paint yet because there's still plenty on there from when we made our tree line. Okay, is basically what this is another tree line. And while that's drying, we could go right ahead and work on these stones. Now see, if it becomes too yellow, I'm going to have to get some white, but I won't do that right now. I'll continue with the yellow. Maybe if the lovely Lorraine comes home, she could grab my white. I just don't want to leave. Come back. Now see, right in here, this already becomes another stone because, I'm going to take my other brush and show you. Because when we start to separate these stones, see, we're going to separate them like this. This will be a shadow in here. And then you just kind of figure out how the stone fits. You know, is it a flat stone? Is there a place to sit right there? Maybe. And then it'll fall down, but then this stone becomes that stone. This one has a little shadow. And you just want to start separating them that way. I'm going to throw that back in. Now let's do larger areas. With your medium brush, let's take larger areas because I want to get this, I want to throw some in here. Oh. Ah! Because it was on the plate. And I wasn't paying attention. Okay, this is getting too yellow for me. The cat's yelling to come out. So, you know something, give me just 2 seconds. I'll let the cat out and grab some white. I'll be right back. I am going to put this in the water, so please excuse me 1 second. I'm back. Okay, so what I do is I grab some white. Grab some white, right there. Grab some white. I'm gonna wash my bigger brush. And now I want to show you how we're gonna make these stones look like gray color. So we take a little bit of the black, put that right on there. Take white, more white than black. And again, just scratch that in there. Okay. Ah, that looks a lot better. I'm glad. I'm glad. You know something? Why don't we just all go right over the... I'll show you how to do some of those yellow stones after. Okay? And don't worry if the paint is still wet, because you'll still mix it in there. And look at that. That's just fantastic right there, all by itself. But what you want to remember, when you're coming against the tree line right here, you want to make sure that you have a nice, crisp edge. Okay? You can make that as rocky as you like, but just make it a nice crisp edge against that tree line. Okay, see what I'm doing? I'm just smudging this in. I hope I wasn't in the way. I'm just smushing this in. Now let's go right along here, so you can take a little bit more white to really accent that out front. Now look, you can leave some of that right in there like this, and then just scratch this right back down into it. Now look at this. There's another stone. And see, I'm not taking the brush off. And I'm not using a killer amount of paint either. You know, you don't want that. And I'm only taking little bits at a time. And now maybe I want to make it a little bit darker right in here. But I don't want to do it against there because it's already dark. So I'll bring it down inside here. Now remember, this is going to be where our waterfall is. So anything over here is just that easy. Okay? And to leave them separated, I want to put this here because I have white. So I want to bring this along the top and smush that right in. Okay, and then you can shape it. Rocks have no, they just form the way they break, or the way they were hit when they got here, or broke off. Okay, you see, as you come down, then you take a little bit more white. So I thought white, but no, it needs the black, because now that's going to be another stone in front of that. Okay, and just as easy, I better take another look and make sure I'm on the frame that you guys can see this okay. I hope so. Yeah, I think so. All right, so see how much nicer that looks? And see, this will be like a little bit of light coming in here. It doesn't matter. There's yellow in the stones too, and I do like the yellow stones when they work right. But if you ever get the hair, you want to, I just pulled one out, but if you ever have a hair hanging off like that, just you know, even if it gets on your canvas as you're painting, don't worry about that. What you want to do is just go in and stab at it, and then it'll be across the, here's one here, perfect. There's one right there. Look, hair off, just go against it, and see, then you grab it sideways like that, and it's best to have the hair across your brush than the hair across, oh, okay, here's the, my coffee. I'm just going to take a little bit more white and black. And look at, see as I come down? Rocks are all different kinds. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what happens in here. Just throw them in there. You're just looking to fill in areas with color. Okay, that's all we're doing. And if it looks, see, now it's getting very light, I'll use a little bit more dark right in here. See, and then that becomes another one. And then you see them start to build. Now, like I said, I like that yellow. I'll take a little bit of that yellow, and I'm going to go right in here with this. Put just a little bit of a glow right in there. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's nice. And then I can just kind of come up and play with it like that. And just let it fade back in. Right? Let's see. Wipe your brush over here, because all these colors doesn't matter. Even if you just clean your brush. I was looking for a spot to clean over here, but it didn't matter. I could wipe it here to clean my brush, because it's going to be covered. I'll go back to the white and the black. Now, like I say, stay away from this edge, because we got to do our beautiful waterfall. That's going to come tomorrow. I'm sorry, we can't rush everything right now. I'm sorry, we can't rush everything today. I know it's exciting, but we got to wait. I'm going to go back to just scratching this in. And see, it doesn't matter what you do up here. Just come back and make it just so you have a separation in there. That's all we're looking for, just that little separation. Okay, don't worry about, oh, that don't look right. That don't Can always be covered with a bush or a piece of moss. Don't worry about that. We got stuff gonna hang off here. It's gonna be nice. And I love seeing all your work. I'm so happy that people are actually following me. Thank you so much. And you know, I wanted to say that I do have the colors and I do have the canvases and all. And I know nobody's got money, but you know, for $10 you get the canvas. And yeah, it's a canvas board. It's a 11 by 14 canvas board. I'll give you all the colors. I'll fill up the little cups. You get 3-4 paintings out of it easy. And like I said, I don't have all brand new brushes, but what I got ain't bad. And you know, for $10 you're getting a bunch of lessons and the colors like the professionals use. Well, this professional. All right. You see what I'm doing now? Even here, I may separate that to go down like that. But that'll be another stone at another time, right? All I want to do, like I say, is just fill this in. That's all we're looking for. There's no reason to paint this in, right? No reason to. This is going to be all rocks, so just make it all rocks. And don't worry about anything looks like that. I'm just going to fill this in. As we said, we want to stay away. And see what's happening as we're coloring our painting. All of this brown, right? Like our pencil marks. We'll call it our pencil mark. Have all disappeared basically because now it's all coming into the foreground. And we'll go back and we'll accent things like this, right? And then we'll get that, like I said, that little glow. Here's a little bit darker because it's coming down. So see how bright this is, and then it just comes a little darker. It's probably only because I had the black on there and I was working my way down. That's great. Leave it like that. Don't try to do that. It'll happen. Okay. Let's see. I want to come down here now. Remember, this is going to be where the water comes. Okay, so we're not concerned about that. We're not going to have our rocks go down into the water. Okay, this is not a moat. There's no castle up there. So we're going to give it a piece of land right over here. This is going to be all piece of land all in front of here. It's going to be nice, right? So while we have this edge, why don't we take care of these stones up here? Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. A little bit more white, black. Now remember, these want to be lighter because they're in front of that black. Okay, make them gray, and you'll always want to cover up your brown pencil marks. See that right in here, that brown? Go right on it, even if you have to go above it just a little bit. You just want to, you don't want that to be seen, that's all. Okay, and I'm just going to color that in like that. And I know that right in here is going to be our waterfall. Okay, so this is our eye level. This is just above our eye level. And look at what we've done already. Let's clean our brushes. Okay, times are getting exciting again because we're going back up into the trees. And what we do here, let's see. There's two things we could do. And let me see. I think I want to just oh. That would have been horrible. It happened on live TV too, didn't it? Wow. I heard you guys yelling, but it was like, what? Oh, well. Hey, at least it didn't fall on our face. Let me make sure that we're okay. And you're okay. Wow, that was close, huh? I guess it's getting windy, but it ain't snowing. Well, I guess it wants to do that too. It's trying. My fingertips are feeling it too. All right. Well, let's take a little bit of we have the yellow is out. So let's take out a little bit of orange. And you can tell, look how long I've had these paints, right? I use the same containers over and over and over and over. Okay? Because it still holds that same orange paint. So I've had mine for quite a few years. And now I get to share everything with you guys, which is awesome. Okay, so let's brighten up some of our trees, okay? There's no reason to just leave those all faint and way in the background. So I got my small brush with the stiff tip, and or even just a small brush itself, or with a fine tip is fine, is good. So what you want to do is just come up here again, take a little bit. See, I didn't scoop it, just that little bit. I'm going to turn it on its side. You don't want the fat part. Put it on its side, and just a little bit of a shimmer. See, like that. And when you step back, those little parts is what's going to be like, whoa, you spent days on that. Not really. A couple of hours maybe. See, and then you don't want that that solid straight line, okay? Oh, look, the sun's coming out. Oh, it's getting windy too, though. All right, see what I'm doing? I'm just staggering this here. You can bring some in. And what I'm doing here is I want to show just a little bit of the sunshine coming in, just like sparkling off the tree trunks wherever it might, you know? Even on the Sharpie side. Okay, you could hit any of those Sharpie things. You don't have to do them all, just here and there. Just enough to show that there are tree trunks back here, little faint marks. Oh, nice, beautiful. I want to attack that, but not yet. And then see, just that little bit. Then if you want, you could go right into the yellow, just that same amount, little, without cleaning the brush. Don't clean the brush, because then watch what happens here. The orange is underneath the yellow. I won't go back up into there, but let's just make some new ones, okay? Oh, look at that. Okay, so now you take just a little bit of orange underneath, and then you put the yellow on top because you want the yellow to be prominent on top first. And look at that. Well, you know something? I've been doing that wrong too. I've been coming down. You could go up or you could go down, but you know, I did it down because I'm a professional. But I like to tell you to go up so that if you make any kind of feathery marks like this, that they may that they feather off. Like, see right up in here, I started at the top and worked my way down, and then I realized, wait a minute, so I'm going to stretch that up because I had a big chunk of paint on there. You don't want that. Okay, so just kind of like, I don't know, you peekaboo it in there, here and there, take a little bit of yellow. Yeah, you just throw it all over because this is all kinds of stuff happening in here. Okay, you could take some oranges and throw them in there. Ah! You think I'd be professional enough by now not to put my hand right in the painting? Oh well. Be careful. Be careful. Let's see. Am I going to have to hold on to the painting? Wow, what a catch that was. Lucky me. Down, face down. I've had that happen too. I've actually had it happen with an oil painting, which is no fun. Because then you have to wait for everything to dry and then hopefully scrub everything off at the end of it. But that worked okay. See, now that looks nice. I don't want to go too nuts, but maybe a little bit over here just to bring your eye over to the left side of the painting with some sparklage. Just a little bit. You don't want to go nuts. But a little bit is always good. And maybe just this final part right here. And there. Okay. And just a little spot of sunshine right in there like that. That's good for me. I like it. I'm going to throw this right in the water. Clean your big brush. And dry your big brush. Oh, medium brush. I'm sorry. I'm using my big brush. Oh, look at that. Oh, fantastic. Now we're going to take the dark green, okay? I'm sure you get some of that out already. But if you don't, take some of that. This is the shamrock green, remember. I know I'm going to have one hand on the painting. I better put this here. But I want to be able to show you the color. That's all right. All right. So go into the green. Now, see what I'm doing? I'm going straight in like we did. Now, when we scrubbed and we stroked, and now we're going to poke it, okay? Because we're going back into the trees, and we're going to stay right along this area. This is going to be all pushed back now with the next thing we do. Now, remember, go into the green, lop it, because you don't want that there. And just barely touch it. You just want to take the paint off of the brush, okay? Just enough off the brush to make it look like there's hundreds of thousands of leaves, okay? Try to get down as close as you can to those rocks, but if you should hit those rocks, don't worry about that either, because we'll fix that too. Actually, look, I'll do one right there, okay? So I got to fix that, okay? And I'll show you how we do that. So just go into the green straight in, lop it, and see, I'm not taking a lot of paint. This is all I did before I did it again. I'm going to come up here. Actually, what I want to do now is I got this tree I've been wanting to fix. So I'm just going to do this now. I'm going to throw that in there. And that looks a lot better. And see, as I come down with this lighter green, it's actually the dark shamrock green. But look how nice that looks right against the black. Ooh. And see, then I'll just go back in like I've been doing and make it look bushy. And I'll show you how we fix that. But like I said, just go in, shape the brush to where you need to get in close. And try not to touch it, that's all. Now see, that's all I got with that, so now I'm gonna have to go back in because I don't want to keep forcing it. If I keep forcing it, I'm gonna get a look like this. And you don't want that, okay? Because that's just a smudge. And we're gonna cover that. So go right into the green again, blop it. Make sure you get a good amount before you blop it. And then just go in, oh, see, and if it gets too heavy like that, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, because even that works. Okay, it's just a different look. Just so long as you don't have that. That's what you don't want. But anything like this is fine. I'm going to go right down along here. And then see, as you go up, you're going to go right into that same green that we used in the background. And it's all going to be lost and feathered back in there. And look at this. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Right, you still want to see that light black that we had on there. You want to see all of that. So that's why it's very important not to have heavy paint. Okay, now I'm just going to go in here. And don't rush this. Please don't rush this. I'm only doing it because I'm a professional. I want to show you when it's cold out here. All right? And the quicker we could do this, because I don't want to be boring. I don't want it to be boring. If you feel I'm dragging, let me know. But see what we're doing. Then we're also going to highlight this. So this is also going to have another layer on top of that. Okay, and I'll show you that in one moment. But it's very important that we come all the way across everything we did with the black. See, and I got my brush sideways. I'm holding my brush sideways. I'm just poking it. And that gives it the look like there's hundreds of thousands of leaves in there, okay? Like we're looking up. Isn't that fantastic? Okay. Blop it right into the green. Blop it. Now look, right at the base of the tree, I could cover that. And that's why we don't go all the way down with that trees, because then it looks like it's down behind there. See? And with the angle of your brush, it makes it look like these branches are reaching out like they are over here. Pretty cool, huh? And that's what gets me excited about painting. Because, you know, you just fake it. You're just faking it. And it makes it look fantastic. And it is so easy, relaxing. It takes, you know, it takes a little time to do it. But once you understand how to do just these simple things, you'll be able to paint, you'll be able to paint whatever you want. And, you know, just a little bit of help. You can always go back and check out this, check out that. There's other painters, of course. I'm not the only guy. But I am for right now while the Coronas is on. So, hey, I'm on YouTube, too. So, a buddy of mine is putting the shows, and I think he's putting the shows from when he said it was about 100 shows from Goffstown when I was on Goffstown TV. I think he's also putting those on too. Those are in the younger days. Those was like, oh my gosh, I'd give it 18, 15, 20 years ago, at least 15 years ago. But he said there's about 100 shows and he'd be happy to help put them up. So, thank you, Dick. Now, see where we did the blue and stuff like that? Let's go. I already poked into the green, which is okay. But let's go into the right on top of the blue. And when we go right on top of the blue, that gives it another shadow of a different color underneath there. Instead of just using the black, it gives your eye something else to look at. Yeah, just like we have the tops of these. We're not going to play too much with those because those are in the distance. We want to leave them in the distance. You see how much, like over those big rocks on the top of the hill, you got the trees on that huge hill up there. And see how much more faded they are than these in front? That's what we're doing up here. We're trying to get that look there as it is up there. So we'll go in, we'll poke, and we'll go in and blop. And where else? Oh yeah, stay right on the blues. Don't kill the blues. You want to just add to it. And everywhere we had those little smudges of black. See what we did there? It makes it look like there's a little pocket of deepness in there, right? Nice. Okay, let's see. I got to come up here. This area looks kind of black. So blop it. Fill in a little bit right here. Okay, now things are starting to just blend together with this one color. So what I'm going to do now, let's just take a little bit of the yellow, okay? While we have that same dirty brush, let's go into the yellow and blop that. Now it's got the green underneath. And watch, hold on, wait, watch this. when I come up, let's do these bushes in front. So I'm just going to come in and do the same thing, but I'm going to keep this yellow toward the top and go even lighter. Okay, and look at this. I got my brush turned sideways. Don't worry about that. We'll fix that. Go into the yellow again. Lop it. It's got the green underneath, the yellow on top. The yellow is going to be more prominent because that's what's going to come off first. And just duck it down there like this. You know, look at this. Oh my gosh. Wow. We're painting in plein air outside today in the freezing cold. But it's springtime. Springtime in Ware, New Hampshire. But I'm a true New Hampshirean, so I don't mind. I can do it. And don't get the orange out? I don't know. Why not? We could go right in there because we have the yellow. And don't worry about the green underneath. You want to blot that still. Maybe, okay, we'll go yellow. Then we'll go back to, the orange. Go back to the, this all by itself. Don't let it be part of that. Let's start this over here. Look, just that little bit. That little bit of an orange color changes it just that much. And look at this. I changed the angle of my brush just a little bit. This is getting a little too heavy. Why? Because I didn't blop it enough apparently. But I'm going to leave that like that because I'm okay with that. That's all right. And maybe just kind of balance this. I'll bring it up here on the top. But I want it to be a little bit brighter because it's a beautiful orange. It's not a fall painting that we're doing, but just a little bit of little sprays of color like this is always nice. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Good enough for me. Let's see. You want to work on the waterfall? Sorry. Why don't we work on this side of the rocks right now? Okay. Oh, look at this right up in here. I see what I need to make a tree. So don't do this. I'm just filling in. Now look at my brush. Look how crazy it is. It's like Larry from the Three Stooges. Hey, Mo. See, I just want to break that up a little bit. So what? The orange is on there. So what? You know, maybe we could even. Don't do this if you don't want to. I'm just gonna kind of like look at it and clean my brush a little bit here, maybe just a little bit right there. I don't want it too orange. I don't want it too. This is a nice summer painting, so I think I'll just leave it alone. Okay, so I'm gonna put that back in the water. Clean that brush real good. Ooh, my fingertips are freezing. I have no idea what time it is. I'm gonna say it's about a half hour into it. What's next? Okay, we could go in and fix our stone. Okay, well actually not even bother with that because we're going to go on the other side and work with the other stones. So I'm going to clean my bigger brush, you probably your medium brush, whatever you use for your stones here. Do the waterfall. I want this to be all dry before we touch any of this. Okay. You know, how about just one more? If you have light green, well, if you have a light green, use the light green. But if you only have the shamrock green like I have, I'm going to use that shamrock green and a little bit of yellow. Now I want to throw some highlights up here. Okay, just a little bit in the top sides of the tree. So I'm just going to go in a little bit. I'm not scooping. Just a little bit on the tip of the brush. Go right into the yellow. Lop it. And then very carefully throw a little bit of highlight up in the tops of the trees where the sun is. Like I say, you don't want it to get too yellow, so be very, very careful. Maybe if you could get more green, a more green effect would be nice. A lighter green than what's behind it. That's all we're looking for. If you use a little bit of yellow, see like that, just a little bit. And see how important also it is to have those little branches kind of like sticking up here and there. You could always add a little bit more here and there, or get a Sharpie or use your stiff tip brush and just throw them in there like that. But I just use a Sharpie. It's easier for me. Let's see, where else do I want to do? A little bit here. So some green, some yellow. I'm going to blop it. Always remember to blop it. Very important. And then just kind of go up in here. That's too dark for me. So, oh, look at that, beautiful. See? And then just whatever just sits right up on top. You're just looking for beautiful the sunlight to hit it. Maybe a little bit on these trees, just a little bit, because, but you don't want it way up there. So maybe just a little bit down the bottom, just a little bit to show the sun's fighting to get down back there. Maybe a little bit right in here. You see, this shows like there's a beautiful hill. I'm going to go a little bit more green, a little bit of yellow, come right in here, and I'm going to call it quits on this. I am done. I am done with my woods. My woods are all done. I'm going to wash that brush because I'm going to go into the black and white. We're going to have, we're going to make this side of the stones, and then I'll have to check and see what time it is. Even the coffee's cold. That didn't take no time at all. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit more black and white because I need them both. Some black, some white. I really don't recommend being outside in the cold. I think it's like, if it's in the low 30s, these paints are going to be turning into gum really, really quick. And never leave them out in the car. They'll freeze, no time. That one I learned quick. Okay, so let's see, I'm going to take a little bit more. I washed my brush, my bigger brush, probably your medium brush, like I said, whatever you use there, use here on this side. Now we're going to start at the top because look at all these layers. Wow. I wonder how many there are now. I can't even count them. Because there's a layer, another one, another one, another one, another one. Blah, blah, blah. So let's see. Take a little bit of the black. And let's just come up here with the black by itself. And then take the white and do the same thing and drag it right down. Okay. And again, just like we did here, just scratch it in. And eventually it's going to start looking like stones. Okay. So if one rolls into the other one, don't worry about that. But what you want to do is try to get a nice crisp edge. Try to get a nice crisp edge on all your stones, okay? And then see, you can do a little bit darker in front. Or if you have gray in the back, let me do some on purpose. You get the gray in the background. See, and then I'll take the black, come right in here, and just wherever. Just make it, you just back and forth, just enough so your eye can see the difference in the stones. You just want to use that for separation, just the black and the white. That's all you really need. And just so long as you can determine another stone from another stone. And like I said, don't worry about coming back, because we'll go in here. We'll go in here with another brush, and we'll define that nice and dark in there. And this will be a nice crevice or something like that, like in here down the bottom. Okay, like any of those, that's what we're going to do in here. And we'll do that in here as well. So don't worry about it. And look how dark that's going to be. Nice and dark. Okay, so our stones are going to be beautiful. Just look for a nice gray color and try to separate them as you're going down. And then we can define them later. So make individual rocks now that we can define later. And by defining, it's like just individualizing each stone. Okay, so a little bit of, see, I'm not taking a lot of paint, like I said. A little black, a little white, ebony, ivory, living in perfect harmony. And little by little, we're going to get down to the bottom and make all our rocks. See, now that's getting too dark for me, so I'm going to use a little bit of white. It's got the black on it already, so I'm not concerned. And let me see, remember, stay away from the water side. You could go up to it here, because what we're going to do is after we do our waterfall, then we put our rocks on there so that it looks like these here, right? So if this was our, well, this is our bushes and all the trees in the background. So it looks like it goes down, in, and back. Okay, this is going to look like it goes in and around. Maybe we'll change this and bring this out. Just looking at it right now, maybe we'll bring the water. Maybe we'll bring the water out here and not so much here. Maybe we'll bring that to here. Who's to say? You can always change it around. So don't just go by this one. Okay, this is, like I said, just just a learning experience. I teach you how to make this and that. So if you have any suggestions, what do you think else should be in here? Other than a deer, because, you know, we can't be doing deers, because I can't get there to draw it. But maybe we'll do some drawing. Maybe we'll do some sculpting. Or maybe we'll just continue with the paint lessons. Let's see what I'm doing. I just want different variations of color right now. And I know that I can always change my, like, even if I painted all my rocks like I said I wasn't gonna, I can always paint over that. So don't worry about it. There's never a mistake. You can always change it. Okay. And we're just looking for, like I said, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. Okay, that's all we're looking for. Now I'm going to get a little bit darker because it's getting kind of boring with the same color right here. So I'm going to come down here with the black, kind of define this a little bit and change it up, and I'll have darker color on my brush. Here we go. And look at this. We're almost down to the bottom. I'm not going to go all the way in there. Like I said, I don't want to. So stay away from the edge of your rocks. I'm going to use a little bit more white now because it's getting too dark. And just to change that up, then I'll cut, maybe that'll be a cut in the stone right there. That'll be another rock. And all we're looking for, like I said, just blocking this in right now. We're not looking for any definition. This is no way near done, okay? We did a lot up here. Look at from where we started, right? And how much we got done today, just on the top. Imagine. This is gonna take no time at all. And like I said, I don't know what size canvases you're using, but I would get up to Michael's on South Willow, or I don't know if you know another one closer, but I would definitely go to Michael's, and before they close with the Coronas, I would definitely get some supplies and paint along with me. I always have the colors up, but like I say, you know, just use everything. They sell a, there's a 12-pack. You get black, white, green, you get a turquoise green, you get blue, light blue, orange, yellow. You get them all. You know, and I think that's maybe that's like $8 or something, or no, that's more like 12, I think. And like I said, just get a set of brushes, set of those acrylic paints. They're acrylic, not oil, because they dry nice and quick, and less mess, a lot less mess. And I think we're going to be doing this for a while, so if you're at all interested and you want to get the colors, the green is the Shamrock green, and that you can find in the aisle. I know it doesn't come with the 12-pack, but it's the Shamrock green. It's Craft Smart Shamrock green. I just like it better than the Kelly green or the Holiday green. It's like kindergarten green. I just don't like it. It's more of an earthy one. You can play with that and get a better earthy tone, I think. All right. Hey, you know something? I'm going to just check and see what time it is, okay? And because I am freezing out here, but if I got 7-8 minutes, I'm going to stay out here with you, but let me just check and see what time it is. Wow, look at that. I believe I do have 5 more minutes with you. Okay, so let's take that 5 minutes and let's finally turn this into a learning experience. Just kidding. Okay, and see, here's another stone. I'm going to just fill that in a little bit. And I like this. And see, look how much the orange really steps out behind this color. So now I just use a little bit of white just to define it a little bit. And like I said, we're not worried about how those rocks look yet. Okay, I'll show you that tomorrow. Oh, I almost went right to the edge. And see, now if I did go right to the edge, let me do that too, okay? I'm going to go right over here. I'll say that this rock is all done. And I'll show you how we fix that. I never did fix up there, did I? So, want to come back up here? It's only black and white. You just play with it enough to... And it doesn't matter that you don't match that perfectly. Right? This is a rock. Now, let's say that this rock comes across here and then it falls. So look at it that way, okay? So you want to see things coming at you and then falling. It's going to be just like the waterfall, okay? So when you want to paint underneath, okay, Mimi was asking me, how do you paint underneath to make it look cliffage? So See right there. So you put the dark underneath, okay, when you have the dark underneath, and then just drop it down, okay? After you drop it down, then you go across the top, and this is what gives you that look like you're looking underneath this, okay? Hope that helped, okay, if you want to do it like that. But this is just a stone, so I'm not going to be too concerned about having that fall off like that, but that's good enough like that. And that could just be a chunk, because see, if you look at, let's see, right in here, I'm looking right in here. See, all these little things in there, all those little things in here is what you want to make. We'll talk about all that. See, and then you just start playing with the darks and the lights. Because anything on the plate, remember, can go on the painting. All right? And I think with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go inside and have a hot cup of coffee and get decolorized. And I'll see you tomorrow. And I hope you're happy with your painting. I hope everything is fine. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. See you later.